Hello and welcome. This is an update on the Paycheck Protection Program forgiveness. We got some very exciting news recently. A new form came out on October 9th in the afternoon, 3508S, which is going to make your life a lot easier for many, many of you. This is an add-on for the work that we've been doing with homegrown childcare, providing free assistance as you go for your paycheck protection program forgiveness. My name is Gary Romano. I'm with Civitas Strategies, and I'm here on behalf of our company as well as Nielsen Training and Consulting, which is supporting this effort. So today we're going to talk about what the Form 3508S is. We're going to tell you who could use it, how you fill it out, and how you can get help if you need it. So 3508S is a new form. It was just released, as I mentioned, just October 9th. It is an even simpler process for PPP loan forgiveness. You don't need to put any calculations on the form. There's greatly reduced paperwork. The banks are very excited about it because it's a much easier process on their end. So you still do, we're going to show you the SBA form, but you still do have to go to your bank and do forgiveness through them. But my guess is your banks are going to be having this pretty soon because it is very easy, makes their life easier as well. So be ready for it. So who can use it? It's pretty simple. If your PPP loan is less than $50,000, you could use Form 3508S. Doesn't make a difference if you're a contractor, 1099, a sole proprietor, a nonprofit or for-profit corporation. If you have employees or even if it's just you, it doesn't make a difference. If you're below $50,000 on your PPP, you can use Form 3508S. If you can't, that's fine. If you're above that threshold, go to homegrownchildcare.org, PPP-resources, and you're going to see we're going to have an updated version of our guide. We have the video on guidance that we did a while ago. Likely you're still going to use the 3508EZ, which, as you may recall, is a pretty simple form to begin with. But this S is even easier. So if you're above 50,000, go to the website, check out the materials there. But if you're under, let's dive into it. So what I want you to have handy when you do this is your PPP application, your closing documents, and your 2019 taxes. Filling out the form is very simple. There's going to be some basic information on you and your loan. We're going to show you an example in a minute and actually show you the form. And then you're going to have to initial a number of representations and certifications. These just say that you use the money in accordance with the Paycheck Protection Program and you didn't go out there and buy yourself a new car or something, but instead use it for payroll, used it for mortgage, interest, rent, utilities in accordance with the program. We have a handbook that's on that website I mentioned. It's going to take you step by step through each field. So if you're unsure, look at that handbook. It's on the Homegrown website. We'll show it again at the end. That's going to take you through each field. The other thing to remember, the only number that could trip you up is forgiveness is never more than your loan, right? So if they gave you $7,000, you can't ask for more than $7,000 to be forgiven. That's the only complicated part. Do remember these calculations are based on cost, right? You don't have to show them on your form, but you should have some backup for this that you hold on to. So in terms of employees, you should have some payroll reports. If you're going to use your rent, utilities, mortgage interest, you should have some evidence that you paid those. However, for most of you, as we've talked about in past videos, if you're an independent contractor or a sole proprietor, you're going to use owner compensation, which is 10 weeks of your pay based on your 2019 Schedule C, line 31. This equals the amount you put on your PPP application. So in other words, for owner compensation, your evidence is easy. Just hold on to your 2019 taxes, right? That's what you need. You should probably retain these records for 3 years. This includes the application, your loan closing documents, your business and or personal taxes, depending on your situation. If you are going to show payroll for employees or bank statements that shows you're paying utilities or mortgage interest, keep those. Checks, cancel checks if you need them. But most everyone should be able to do this just through payroll, either for yourself or yourself and an employee. Do remember that, if for any reason you can't do that, or you want to include utility, rent, payments, mortgage payments, there are some documents here that we're mentioning that you would then just need to keep on record. You won't need them for the form, but keep them on record. But like I said, I think that if you're in the under 50,000 category, I'm hard pressed to think of anyone who wouldn't be able to do it with payroll. So in that case, you would just, for owner's compensation, keep those 2019 taxes, your Schedule C, or some evidence that you paid employees. So let's talk about an example. Jane Smith is a home-based child care provider in Passaic, New Jersey. Her Schedule C, line 31 from 2019, said she made $36,400. Her PPP loan was for 10 weeks of that pay, so that's $7,000. She's a sole proprietor. She's the only employee. Her PPP loan landed in her bank account on May 15th. She put the amount of her, so when she filled out her form, she put the amount of her loan, $7,000. She matched that number for forgiveness, and then she initialed the representations and certifications. It's now ready to go to your online site and enter that information. It's that simple. So let's actually look at the form. So you can see Jane entered her information, her address, her social security number, her business phone. She put in the PPP loan number from the SBA. This will be on your closing documents. And again, that step-by-step handbook tells you where to find these things. She put down her loan amount, $7,000, when she received it, May 15th. It's only her, so she had one employee at time of application and one employee now that she's getting forgiveness. One of the things about 3508S is they are not going to be concerned about if you have fewer employees. So if you had employees at time of loan of 2, you'd say that when I applied I had 2 and now I have 1, right? The EIDL loan is, I know some of you did get that. You got the grant part of it. That does need to be recorded here. So you need to be able to put down the advance amount if you received it. The forgiveness amount should be equal to the total loan amount. So 7,000, 7,000. Done. In terms of the representations and certifications, you'll see that Jane initialed each one of them. And basically, as you can see looking within them, they just say we use the money in accordance with the Paycheck Protection Program. We didn't use it fraudulently. We did it in the way we used it in the way we were intended to use it. She just initials those, signs the form, and submits it. It's a very easy form, as you can see. However, you may need help. If you do, don't hesitate to email us at ppp@civstrat.com. We will answer your questions happily. This is all free of charge through Homegrown Childcare, so there's no charge to you. There's also the homegrownchildcare.org/ppp-resources page. That has a video from the earlier ones that we did on the other forms. It'll have this video there in English and Spanish. It also has a step-by-step guide for all the forms together. So if you just grab that handbook, it'll tell you each field and what to do. We hope this is helpful and that you stay healthy.